Welcome to the exciting and new podcast. I'm Jason.
I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian.
And I'm Mac.
Mac
Special
is back.
guest Mac is back.
Mac Attack.
Mac is back.
You know, I noticed listening to our podcast.
Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac.
The knife.
Listening to our podcast from last week, how you let the intro go for so long before you actually started.
That was the
talking.
one where I missed.
You're like,
yeah,
I
where
missed
I missed.
it.
I was like, I missed.
And then on the
it.
mini pod, you surprised me because you jumped in right early, and I was like,
He's
I gotta
back on.
turn it down.
He's back on.
Jason's back. I hear myself. I'm still getting used to it. You know what I mean? Well, we're back to start our. We're starting our No, we started that last week, right? Our
Swamp
Halloween.
Thing started us
so
last
this
week.
is our second week of our Halloween. We didn't really come up with a name for it yet, right? Did you like that?
Halloweenies.
What did I call it? The extravaganza? I like that. I thought that
Yeah, I
was
did
fun.
kind of. Yeah, that was
That
kind
was
of
fun. I
Our
like that.
Halloween extravaganza.
very
Right?
daft.
It's just
I
different.
like that.
Yeah, it's different. I mean,
I like Halloweeners too.
Our Halloweeners extravaganza.
yeah, put it together. We got something. I like that.
I got to change the opening song to the Halloween.
We'll
one.
do that for Swamp Thing next week too. Or
Okay.
when it starts, whenever that
yeah.
is.
What are you going to use?
The one that I used for the Halloween special last year.
Okay.
Remember our scripted Halloween? Do you try to forget that?
This year's Halloween is going to be a lot better than last year's.
I'm gonna write a whole new one.
Please do.
This week we're here to discuss a movie that was released November 12th, 1982, so a little bit after Halloween.
Right in that Halloween wheelhouse, 2 weeks after.
2 weeks after Halloween. Creepshow. It's rated R. It's a 2-hour runtime, directed by the George Romero.
Why do you think it was rated
Excuse
R?
me, George A.
George A.
Romero.
There was a fuck or two in this.
Yeah,
I know
And
they
that's
said
the-
that,
that's
but
the only
that was
reason
only
why.
th-
they
only
say
thing?
fuck a lot, and I think maybe some, maybe a little bit of gore in the first.
Oh yeah, the cockroach guy says the F word a lot.
Maybe in Father's Day that might have been a little too gory.
Maybe. It was hardly gory, but
But
maybe 82
but the
standards.
F word back then did give you if you had more than
Automatically.
one.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
that
it
would
was
escalate
automatic.
you up to an R rating.
Because there was no
Yeah.
PG-13, so you
Yeah.
say it once you're R.
It went. I think you had one freebie, and if you got the second one, that's when it got you to automatic R.
If you're going to cross that threshold, you might as well go all out with nudity and shit, and titties.
I agree 100%.
Right? Yeah.
Why fuck around?
But
man?
even nudity, I mean, we had movies that had nudity in them that had a PG rating, like Airplane has nudity in it. What was the other one?
Swamp Thing did
Swamp
the other
Thing
day.
had
Beastmaster.
nudity. Beastmaster.
Oh,
They were all
Beastmaster.
PG and they had nudity in them. Yeah.
Did you like
Sheena.
Beastmaster?
yeah, I did.
I like Beastmaster.
Yeah, it was a good flick. It was very
No, it's
cheesy.
These guys hated it.
It's not good.
It's not.
I love.
Well, yeah, it's bad in a great
No,
way.
it's bad in a bad way.
It's bad. in
I
a
thought it
bad
was
way.
bad in a bad way as well.
Sheena was even better.
Sheena's better than Beastmaster, for
God,
sure.
yeah.
Good old
Let's talk
Tanya.
about Creepshow, though.
Well, George A. Romero. George A. Romero, he passed away 2017, 77 lung cancer. I did get his top four. His top four was all writing. They were all writing.
And do they all
credits, though.
end with dead? Return of,
Three of them have dead in it.
day of.
It's Land of the Dead,
Land of the
Diary of the Dead, and Night of the Living Dead. And you said you'd never seen any of the Dead movies, right?
I've not seen any of them.
Wait, so Land of the Dead?
Wow, you never
Land of the
saw
Dead,
those?
Diary
No.
of the
What
Dead,
planet have you been on?
and Night of the Living
Was he
Dead.
not involved with, what's the one in the mall? Is that Day of the Dead?
Mallrats.
I mean, of the Dead movies. I'm
It might have
talking
been
about.
Dawn.
No, that was
that
Dawn of the
Was that
Dead.
Dawn? That's a
Oh,
great.
yeah.
That's a great of
Yeah.
the Dead movie.
That's
Yeah.
the one I remember.
Yeah.
That was like his flagship.
I'm surprised
movie
that's
to
not
me.
in his
And
top
his
five.
fourth is Monkey Shines.
Oh, really?
He wrote that.
I
And then Tom
remember it was-
Savini is in Creepshow too, right? Isn't he the
Yes, he is.
makeup artist? And he was in all those.
He's also in a
Romero
He's
ones.
in.
He's in this movie.
Yeah.
Shh. Yeah, that surprised
Now you can talk
me,
about
actually.
it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Okay,
great,
is it
though.
okay? Okay, yeah. At the
Yeah,
end
but-
there, I'm like, that's Tom Savini.
Yeah,
and when I was a kid, I had no fucking idea.
Which I just met him 2
Yeah.
weeks ago. So.
Again,
Which
didn't you-
person
wasn't
was
that your
Tom
second
Savini?
time meeting?
He was
him?
the
That was
garbage
first
man
time
with-
meeting him.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He was the garbage man with the headphones on.
I've been at a place
And you
where
know
he was
who
at.
the
I
other
just
garbage man was?
You didn't get
Who was the other
pictures or
garbage man?
something?
Ferret from Swamp Thing.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Huh?
Ferret from Swamp Thing was the other garbage man.
Oh, okay.
How funny is that?
I didn't pick up on that.
And I didn't see that in his top 4 last week when we talked about it.
You know, I was wondering why he had a big speaking role there,
Remember,
and
'cause
Tom
his top 4 had
Savini's next to him, just
soundtrack.
kind of like a chump.
Yes.
You know, I'm like Tom Savini's, the better dude in here, but I guess maybe not.
Well, Tom Savini did we'll
All
get
the makeup,
the crate,
thing.
the
Yeah.
crate thing, and everything.
Oh,
like
Fluffy?
that. Yeah, Fluffy.
So we say
yeah.
Dawn of the Dead. Was that his? That
Yes.
wasn't his first one though.
No,
was it?
Night of the Living Dead.
Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
But I can't believe you've never seen any of them. Yeah, that's interesting.
Wow.
No.
Because half of them are good.
Yeah.
I mean, most of them are shitty, but half of them are
Well,
good.
after Day of the Dead, they kind of went down.
Yeah, they
And
did.
it's just something.
There's 3 good ones.
just worth
Yeah.
seeing. I think. Yeah, definitely worth wasting a Saturday afternoon watching.
Oh, hell yeah.
We should do a Of the Dead marathon. down
And they
here
were all
one
the
day.
slow moving.
We should start making a list of
kind
marathons
of
that we're gonna
shuffle
have
around.
down here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's-
Not like the high speed ones that you see nowadays on like World
like
War
28
Z
days,
or-
28 days later, and
yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, you like this. I like the slow zombies.
and the remake
I like
of
the
Dawn of the
idea of
Dead,
a
which
slow
was
zombie.
terrific, but
Yeah.
they were all running around really
Oh,
fast.
were they? I didn't see the
Yeah.
remake for that.
Don't-
yeah.
Oh, you never saw the
Nah.
remake? It's fucking
I
fantastic.
did hear it was really good.
Which one's
Yeah.
that?
The remake
remake.
of Dawn of the Dead. It was in the early 2000s. It was terrific.
I remember when that came
I
out.
don't know if I saw that or
Because
not.
that's got like
It's so fucking good. The
like
Ving Rhames
Ving Rhames
was
is in it, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
it was
I remember
great.
that. I remember when that came out.
And the guy from Family whatever show
Matters.
Family show.
No, the one that had Al Bundy in it. I forgot the
Married
name
with
of it.
Children?
Married with Children.
No. The other
Modern
Modern
Family.
Family?
Yeah, that one. There was the dude in there that was starred in the remake. He was.
I never saw Modern Family.
It was great in it.
I saw Modern Family, but I don't remember Dawn of the Dead for some reason. The remake.
The
at
remake.
least, yeah.
All right. Who wrote this?
Steve King.
I know that guy. I've
Steve
heard him.
King. Yeah, he was the writer for this.
And he starred in
Steve
one of
King
the stories.
did star in it as well. Yes.
One of my notes says, "Who let Stephen King star in this movie?"
Yeah.
Big ugly
I
fuck.
questioned that the entire time.
Well, I did read that.
I guess when you write the movie, you could say, "And I wrote this part for me."
I did.
That was like his biggest role. I know
It
he
really
shows
is, yeah.
up
Yeah.
as cameos in a lot of them, but
I
this he
did
had a
read
whole
that,
story for
And
himself.
only him.
And it was a bad story. It was kind of dumb.
I did read that they were good friends, Romero and Stephen King, and they always wanted to work together. And this was the first time that they had
Okay.
something available. So this is what they got together and decided why he decided on doing
Did
that.
they do other things together after this?
I don't think they did.
All right.
Why they chose to do the lonesome death of Jordy Verrill, I'm not sure, but
And that's like, I think, the only story in this suite of movie episodes, whatever you want to call it, vignettes, that was from a Stephen King book already.
I was trying to figure out how did he write the flashbacks in his book like that when he was his dreams, like he was dreaming about selling the meteorite. Like how did he write that in there? Like
What do you mean? How do you
This
write
is
that in
going
there?
to hurt
I don't
extremely
understand what he's
much.
asking.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
like I'm trying as I'm watching him act this out, like
When he was envisioning
staring
going
away
to
and
the,
then
the
and then
college.
walking into the college and selling it. I'm like, how does this appear on paper?
This is not exactly how it was written. In the story, that specific one was called Weeds in the book, and they didn't do all that flashbacky stuff. You mean the
okay.
Department of Meteors and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, he was going to the college.
The college.
And they were going to give him $750. He's rich now.
He wasn't leaving without 200. for the
200
first
to pay off
one,
his
right?
bills. 200 to pay off your bills, man. If that's your bills, man, you're doing really
pretty
well.
good.
Even in 1982, $200 in bills, you're good.
The IMDb description is an anthology which tells 5 terrifying tales inspired by the EC horror comic books of the 1950s.
Was there quotation marks around terrifying?
No, but there should have been.
Or an asterisk. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was scary for 1982. I think Brian. Let's
think there
announce
was-
that.
I think
this
there
was
was-
Brian's first time watching the movie. So let's. Would you say it was scary?
I would classify it as a comedy.
And
Campy.
I saw somewhere
very
where it was
campy.
listed as a horror
very
comedy.
enjoyable, but campy.
That's how I would put it: horror / comedy.
But
yeah,
when I first looked for it, it was listed as horror comedy
that's what I
Yeah,
would.
so-
That's how I would categorize it.
because it is silly
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
and it's not scary. There's like a couple jumpy scares here and there, but not like.
I have one thing that really stood out in the movie,
Why don't you say it now so you don't forget it?
and it was
Because if we ask, it's the cockroach scene, then they'll forget it by the end.
well, I'm sure we're going to get to this star, but as when Ed Harris was laying in the
Yes.
grave, and he made that
Yes.
squeak before his head got smushed, and I was just like, "What the hell was that?" That
He had so much time to get out of there too.
That's what really bugged me.
He made no effort.
He just
He's
kept
like,
looking up. Is it gonna? No, not yet. No,
and at
no,
least
not
put
yet.
your
No,
at least
no,
put your
not
hands
yet.
in front of your face. Maybe you can stop it with your hands.
That was a yelling at
Yeah,
the
'cause
screen.
it wasn't a
moment,
real long
you know?
fall. It wasn't a long fall.
Yeah,
It was
just
like-
put one hand up.
just
You're gonna
thud.
at least break the fall. You might break your
make it,
wrist.
maybe make it go to the side.
You might
even,
break
yeah.
your wrist, but you'll not crush your head.
But how about that whole point of it was Ed Harris? It was
That was
before
great.
Ed Harris was anybody.
That was a
And
baby Ed Harris who's
amazing.
31.
And it's
when I
amazing.
saw it back when I was 12 years old,
I didn't know
he
it was
was a
Ed
schmo.
Harris.
He was nobody. I didn't know who he was.
That was
then.
31-year-old Ed Harris.
Yeah,
And,
then
The Right Stuff came
now
out
he's
like
dead
the next
Harris
year.
after that. So.
The Right Stuff was the next year, and this is right before he was John
It's
Glenn.
right before
in
he,
that.
yeah, right before
Yeah.
he got
And he
big.
broke,
really,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, he got huge after
and
that.
he had much less hair. The further Ed Harris goes,
He was playing Hank Blaine. That was his character. His name, Hank Blaine.
I feel one.
and he
of,
was the first death in Creepshow.
No,
yeah, I think her father was.
yeah.
I guess so,
yeah.
but he was kind of like
The first one,
you know,
like that happened
yeah.
real time because those are flashbacks. I guess.
All right,
when
let's
he
get
died.
technical.
I'm just being silly.
Well, some of the other
the
stars,
first victim.
some other stars that we had in the five. I'm not gonna. I don't want to go in order. Based, you
Yeah,
wanna go in
just
order?
do them all.
So,
Do them all.
like-
Do them all.
Yeah, so we had like Hal Holbrook would be one
Yeah.
of the top stars.
Was he the first build?
He was the first build. Yeah,
Man, Hal Holbrook, first build. Okay,
And he was a
Hal
cock.
Holbrook was huge.
He
though,
was.
back
He was
then.
a big. He was a big.
He was
star
a total
back then.
cuckold in that.
He
one,
was.
too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but he got
Yeah, he got his revenge.
his, you know.
Yeah.
My biggest.
Just tell it to call you Billy.
My biggest memory of Hal Holbrook growing up was he was in Fletch 2.
Oh, God.
He was Billy. What the fuck was his name? Ham. Damn. He was in Fletch 2. I'll leave it at that. He had a name.
Dr. Rosenpenis.
Dr. Rosenpenis.
Leslie, a serious Leslie Nielsen was in this one. He was
and
playing
Mike-
Richard Vickers.
Was it serious?
My son was blown away by that because we watched it together. I had my son watch that. He goes, "Is that Naked Gun Leslie Nielsen? Is he actually like a bad guy in this?"
And this is like
I'm like,
2
yes,
years
he
after
is.
Airplane. So it was like like the cusp had been broken. He was going to start that downward spiral of
He had already like been funny, and they're like, "Wait
Yeah.
a minute, we might have something."
like, why are we
here."
trying to
Yeah.
make him like a serious bad guy?
It worked good though. He was
He was great.
He was a great
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
guy.
He and the stories are again. I saw more stories about him and his fart machine.
Oh yes, this famous fart machine that he carried around
On
with him all the
set,
time.
He
yeah.
would carry it around wherever he went. He had a little fart machine, and he always thought that was the funniest thing ever, making that like surprising somebody like coming up behind him and playing the fart noise. Leslie Nielsen.
That's
thought that
such
was one
a
of the
like
funniest
old
things.
man
Yeah.
funny thing to do.
Just thinking about him having that at all times.
We
pretty
could have
much,
used that
you know what
fart
I mean?
machine
So,
at
like,
the Ghost concert yesterday. Keep those two drunkards away from us.
They wouldn't
you
have
know?
heard it.
they would have thought it was them. Probably.
It might have been them.
Adrian Barbeau
Back to back Barbeau weeks.
was in this. We had Adrian Barbeau last week. Swamp Thing, Brian.
We didn't see her boobs in this, so
No,
It's amazing how much uglier she was in this as she was
Yeah.
just like
all,
character
it was all
was
the
terrible.
attitude. It was all her
It's
attitude
all
made her
the-
so
yeah.
much uglier. Yeah,
That just made her so fuckable though
Oh,
too. It's
well,
just that's a real hate.
that
fuck.
goes without
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
E.G. Marshall.
E.G. Marshall. Chevy Chase's father in Christmas Vacation,
oh yes,
or Beverly D'Angelo's father. One of their fathers.
I think it was Chevy Chase.
I think it's Chevy's.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that might be a little
just a curmudgeon. But just a curmudgeon.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's probably got a illustrious career, but he's in Christmas Vacation as one of the dads.
We mentioned Ed Harris, Fritz Weaver's high build.
Fritz, I don't know who's
Wait,
that.
so who's the dude that
Ted
first?
Danson.
Oh yeah, Ted Danson.
You know, the
Might get to your
professor.
guy.
with Hal Holbrook that first came across.
Dex.
Yeah, that's Fritz Weaver.
Oh, that's
It
Fritz
is?
Weaver.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, Dexter Stanley.
I don't
Yeah.
think
So
I know
what other
him.
movies was he in? Is that
I didn't top four him. That's what I said.
Okay, because I recognize him from other stuff.
He must be one of those character actor kind of
That's
guys.
exactly what he was.
I almost thought he was
that's why I didn't want to do
Reanimator, but that was a different Lurch guy, with his head chopped off. John Kerry.
But Ted Danson and Steve
Danson.
King were the other two.
Was Cheers
that I
on
had
by
from the
that?
cast.
This
No, this is definitely before Cheers. Do you know there's one other?
But he was up and coming.
There's a
though.
few
I
other-
thought Ted Danson was
I
something.
know, but I just
famous
stopped.
might have
people.
been,
Isn't he?
yeah.
That's where I stopped.
You know-
Again, I didn't go back to.
Do you know who the kid is in this? The kid that's reading the comic book at the beginning and the end.
No, who?
His name is Joe Hill currently, but back then he was Joe King. He's Stephen King's son. Oh, he's an author now.
Is that like
Yeah.
a joke? His name is Joking.
Maybe that's why he's Joe Hill now. But
Yeah.
Joseph
could be.
King?
he goes. I've read a couple of his books now. He's like a horror author too, and I think he actually did a couple books with his dad. It's real easy when your dad starts off like, "Here's the first 700 pages."
The dad
you can finish it.
The dad and I was a real prick too.
And that's what's his name? Todd Atkins. Tom.
Oh,
Atkins?
yeah, he was a
Atkins,
character
Tom Atkins.
actor.
Yeah, he
Tom
was another
Atkins.
one. He's another one of those guys you saw in like a lot of like 70s
And we will
80s.
see him very soon in Halloween 3. He's the
Halloween
star
Yes,
of
that's
Halloween
right,
3.
that's
Really?
right.
Yes.
Season
Oh, yes,
of the
he
Witch.
is.
The
Coming
dad?
soon. Yeah.
You never saw that one?
No, I only
Oh, I
saw
thought you said
Halloween
he saw
1.
3.
Yeah,
I thought you said he saw
he'll be
3.
the star of Halloween 3 very soon.
Oh, that's fun. Another new one.
Yep.
So fun that you
I think all these horror ones will be my first.
Oh my
That's
god!
so
It's like,
fun for
I have
him.
never had this many virgins in week
Yeah.
after week after week.
You're not a horror guy, or haven't been, huh?
No, I was never a horror guy.
But it's not like you hated it. You just didn't.
No, you know my type of movies I like.
But you weren't watching those in the 80s, were you? Because they didn't have those really.
I was the same person.
But what teen dramas
Yeah, like
were you watching then?
what would you rant?
Comedies. I watched almost exclusively comedies,
Okay,
sci-fi
that
and comedies.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Back when they made comedies?
Even
they were
now,
good.
it's like
There was definitely a
Sci-fi
lot
and
more
comedies.
comedies made.
There were good comedies back then.
Yeah, like
They don't make good comedies
Well, this was
now.
horror comedy.
Well, this was.
This-
yeah.
yeah. But because of the name, I probably never associated it with
Creep show.
Yeah.
oh, it's a creep and it's a show.
It's scary.
You know, in the first minute of this, when
Thunder and Lightning.
after they do the intro and the kid sees the monster out the window and he kind of smiles.
Gives
And
him
I
a
was like,
thumbs up.
I was like, Jesus Christ! I'm like, this is
Tales
fucking
from the
Tales
Crypt.
from the Crypt, like stolen from it. Then I looked it up. Tales from the Crypt is Creep Show. It's owned by the same company, but some kind of rights thing. Like they couldn't call it like the Creep Show, the TV show, so they just called it Tales from the Crypt. So that is like the Crypt Keeper right there. That is.
Yeah, well,
It's not.
okay.
It's not the
back
Crypt
in the
Keeper,
day,
but it is.
You guys were all into, the superhero comics and stuff.
Ooh, no, ew.
I know, yuck. But when I was growing up, I was all in the Tales from the Crypt and all that stuff. So when Creepshow hit, I was in my element.
There it is.
Yeah. So
But I just thought it was funny that I thought that ghoul in the window, I was like, they're just ripping off the Crypt Keeper here. Or,
Yeah, and that was
I
HBO
I was really
that-
thinking the
that
Crypt
kicked
Keeper's
that off,
ripping
right?
off this thing right here. But it turns out that was like the proto Crypt Keeper.
It was okay because
it was the
belonged
same
there, yeah.
company
Just,
that
yeah,
owned
couldn't-
it. Yeah.
just
and you
couldn't-
know how nowadays Netflix has, all these channels have their own shows and stuff. I think
Exclusive,
back then, exclusive shows. HBO started Tales from the Crypt, and I think that was like one of their first original.
Notice this
series.
is a Warner Brothers movie. I knew this, that they had a W at the beginning. HBO is a Warner Brothers property, so that's probably why they had.
And oddly enough, I watched Tales from the Crypt because
And
it
that
was
was
on
great.
HBO. Yeah,
Tales
And
from
I
the
did
Crypt was
enjoy
good.
it.
It was well done. Yeah.
I mean, it was a kind of more R-rated Twilight Zone or
Should have
Amazing
been,
Stories.
It should have been streaming on HBO Max. You would have thought.
Is it
something
not?
Like that. It
Is
was not
Tales from the Crypt
streaming
not
on
now?
HBO Max. No, I watched this on Blu-ray. I had it on.
Oh,
Blu-ray.
I meant Tales from the Crypt. I'm sorry, not Creep Show. I'm
talking
Tales from the
Creepshow,
Crypt.
yeah.
I'm sorry. We should probably
Because we
talk
should
about the
talk
movie.
about Creepshow
Yeah, yeah.
rather than Tales from the Crypt. That's what I
Is
thought we were
Tales from
here
the
for.
Crypt on HBO Max?
I don't know. I didn't.
I'm
that's
just
not-
saying it should.
But that's
be
where it
because-
originally ran.
Yeah.
in
Again,
the
I'm
80s.
saying, where did you watch Creepshow? Is what I'm asking everybody. Right
Oh,
now.
I watched it on HBO probably like 1,000 times. Remember back
Where
in the
did
day?
you watch
did
it
you
with
watch
your
it
son
today?
the other day?
What?
When you watched Creep Show the other day, where'd you watch it? How'd you watch it?
Oh, I watched it on Amazon Prime. I rented it.
Okay,
Yeah.
That's
excellent.
Yeah, that's it.
I watched it on Apple TV. Rented it. Also, I paid $3 for it.
Yeah,
Same here.
Brian.
I rented it.
I could not find a quote rented copy, and that thing was that
Cinema
circle
HD,
that
yeah.
circle was going for a long time. I was like, I guess I'm paying $3 for this.
That's what I
And it was
did, too.
$3 well spent. I get it for the next month. I might watch it again.
So I watched
Not
it for,
to
Give it a
like give
score.
away my score at
That was
all,
my-
but I might watch it again.
If I wanted to.
So you watch on Amazon
Prime.
for like $3.
Well,
or
I don't
whatever
even
it
know
was.
if it's Prime. I had to pay for it. Yeah,
Yeah, $3, yeah.
yeah, $3.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't
Yeah.
streaming for free anywhere.
No.
No.
And you had the DVD,
Blu-ray, yeah.
Blu-ray. Oh, sorry. Blu-ray.
But back in the day,
I'm
I
bougie,
watched it
son.
when it came out in the movie, and then it hit HBO in the 80s.
Yep, I definitely watched it. I
And
remember
I
renting
probably
it.
watched it like 100 times because it was on like 5 times a day.
Renting it from the video store as a kid. I
You're
remember doing
fucking
that.
rich bastards with HBO, man. Back in the day, I had no
Oh,
HBO.
yeah, HBO, man. You
Like
would
I
have
work on Wall Street. Yeah, we
You would have been a
I'm
different
talking when you were a
person.
kid.
You would have been a different person, man.
I'd be more fucked up than I am now. I guess
You had Prism.
I had Prism.
Yeah.
That was
Prism had
all
some
like
crazy
Skinamax,
Yeah,
After Dark kind of shit.
oh,
yeah.
And you got
I wish I had
Spectrum
that.
Wrestling you had on once a month.
By the way, the Stephen King guy, what's Jolie,
Joe Hill?
the character that he plays,
Joking?
the character that he plays,
Jordy Verrill.
Jordy Verrill. He's watching wrestling. I was
I
trying.
know.
I was trying to like, who's he? I'm like,
I know.
I'm looking.
I got
I'm like,
who
do you
he's
have it? Do you have him? So
I thought it was Bob Backlund. I was like,
I'm so glad
I have
you know
who
what
he's
it is
fighting.
because I looked. I'm like, who's he wrestling? I know Jason's going to ask, and I couldn't find.
oh shit!
I couldn't figure it out.
You have
either.
that trivia, Jason?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
my
I'm
God.
so excited you have that. That makes this whole podcast worth it.
Let me pull it up here.
No, not now.
No,
We'll
I
get
want
to-
to make sure
okay,
I have
okay.
it.
And it was WWF.
It said
was-
World Wrestling Federation.
We're gonna do it right
Yeah,
now.
not
The
the panda.
wrestling match seen on the title character's TV is a segment. The Lonesome Death of Jody Verrill is Bob Backlund.
I was right.
Boom!
Bingo.
Brian Mack with the win.
versus the Samoan Alpha.
Samoan.
They
yeah.
kept
Wild
saying
Samoan.
the Samoan. I'm like, is
And
that
took
his
place
name?
on April 12th or April 21st, 1980. There is audio early in the match and later in the end of it at a difference of about 16 minutes. But you can also hear a young Vince McMahon.
He's one of the announcers.
one of the announcers.
That's so
Yeah.
great. I called it out to my son. I said, that looks like Bob Backlund and the Wild Samoan.
Wow. I knew there was a Samoan guy. I'm like, what's
They
his
kept
name?
saying
I'm
Samoan
like, he kept
Alpha.
saying,
You can't really make it
I'm like,
out.
is it
It's hard,
American
yeah.
Samoa? Like, what's his name?
He had
Wild
that
Samoa.
giant
Bob Backlund,
Jerry
yeah.
But the
Curl
Wild
type hair.
Samoans were 2 guys. I don't know if that was
Maybe
just
he's
one
like
of the
one of
2.
them.
I
Just
had,
like the-
I had read this, so I knew Bob Backlund was going to be in it. So then I just heard it. When I heard it, I was like, Bob Backlund. I was
Is
like,
Bob
that's
Backlund
awesome.
still
Yeah.
alive?
He is
he
still alive. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Good for him.
That's good. Yeah.
These old wrestlers, man, if they make it to be old, good for them because most of them don't
Sometimes
make
it
it to
seems
old.
like they either die young or they make it really old.
Yeah. Well, they
Like
survive.
Abdullah the Butcher.
They
is still
survive their
alive.
suicides and drug
But not like
addictions. and
Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Yeah,
He had a hell of a
did he
life.
die like as soon as he was getting like
He
indicted
killed his
on murder
wife,
charges
yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that?
He murdered his wife.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
fall from the
He took a few
ceiling
people with him.
of a stadium.
Oh, that was
Owen Hart.
Hart. Yeah.
Or have a heart attack and crash your car like the Macho Man, Randy
Randy
Savage.
Savage. I think that happened with whatchamacallit, Dusty Rhodes or not Dusty Rhodes. Damn, I can't think of his name now. Son of a bitch.
Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior had a heart attack like the day after he got in the
Ultimate
Hall
Warrior
of
did have
Fame
the
or
heart
something
attack.
like that.
Yeah, it was sad because he was like the Ultimate Warrior. Like he fell out of like touch with the WWF, and then they were
bringing him back.
Bringing him back. They were doing like a video retrospective of him and everything, and then he died. Like
Damn.
Actually, that's the best way to go. Just like I'm out. Boom.
On a high note.
Drop on the stage.
Adrian Adonis.
Adrian
That's the guy I was
Adonis.
thinking
Oh
of.
shit! Yeah, I remember
he
him.
died like that. Yeah.
Sorry. So now I got completely off track by that wrestling.
No,
thing,
but that was
so.
fun. I'm glad I had that. Yeah.
I'm so glad you had that because I'm watching. I'm like, I know Jason's going to ask. I want to know
That
the
was
answer.
one of our first
And I couldn't
exciting
get the
ones
answer.
because he would get excited when I would find a character had something that he was in something that he was like, oh my God.
As soon as I saw
I,
that screen, I was like, damn it, Jason's going to ask me about this. I better know the answer.
I'm just in awe of this nerdism. Man, it's just wow.
if
that
you're
you
listening
found
to this
that-
podcast, you're a
Holy
fucking
shit.
nerd. So
Yeah.
there it is.
Listen
I do
to
have
us.
to
We're
say-
fun, dude.
Yeah.
Jason kicks ass as the host there.
Damn.
I do what I can. And I wouldn't say I'm the host. I'm going to say I'm a co-host because Andy's here as well. And I
He's
like to
color commentary.
Yeah, I say Andy's a co-host, and I would include you as a host as well because
I'm the
I feel
producer.
like
He's not. He's a producer.
hey, I was just
Don't
gonna say,
include
I'm just
him
talking
there.
to you on the side now. It's just between this is just me and you, Andy. Brian's just the
I'm just
producer
a
here.
fan that
You're
is on
a
the
guest.
podcast.
You're a guest.
Yes.
You used to guess it's been on the most though, right?
It's either him or
know.
Anthony.
Or
Anthony was on like
I think
3
Anthony's
times
only
or
been
so.
2 or 3 times, right?
I think 3 times.
3 times?
Once live, twice over the phone.
And Mac's been here.
I think
This
this
your
is my
third
third
one?
time. Yeah, so now we're tied.
Yeah.
So, well, you're live all 3 times. So
Oh, that's true,
might
yeah.
And
be
you
good.
live a state away. You could be on more times.
Yeah.
All right, so Creepshow.
That was
we can
our,
reminisce
yeah,
later.
Keep bringing us back. Thanks.
For the parents guide, I had a couple of things here. Sex and nudity is there was really no sex and nudity in this at all. An old man showers, but no nudity is shown.
I know that old man,
Oh.
Leslie Nielsen. He
Yeah.
was in the shower.
And he had occasional sexual remarks and insults are made. One character says to her husband, "You're no good in bed." I wonder who said
Adrian
that.
Barbeau. I assume
Just
Billy.
tell it to call you Billy.
Billy.
And then for profanity, around 8 uses of fuck, and an infrequent use of milder profanities like shit, asshole, and bitch.
Yeah, but those are all PG words.
But 8 fucks
except
will get
fucks,
you.
yeah. And that was all the end.
R rating. Yeah,
That was all the roaches.
That was all,
It was
yeah.
all fuck these fucking roaches.
That was the worst story of the whole one.
I
thought, yeah.
I don't want to give away anything, but ending on that was a bad call. They should have ended on the crate. The crate should have been
crate's a perfect ending.
The crate
Yeah.
should have been the last of the 5, and I think.
And it would have been a perfectly.
And I actually think the Bedelia one is second worst, and that was a bad opener
Yeah.
because I'm like 10 minutes in. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this. I'm like, I think I'm not going to want to watch more of this. So
The best
they crammed
story-
the 3 best in the middle.
they should have sandwiched it the other way.
They should have really kind of reversed it and maybe opened with the.
Smacked it, flipped it down, then reversed it. Would have been the best way.
I think they
That
should have
would've been
opened with the beach one, Leslie Nielsen, Ted Danson,
And that's the best one.
and ended with the
my
crate,
opinion.
and then had the other
Yeah.
3 in the middle, and then
Yeah.
the middlest one would be the shit. What was the third good one? Oh, the
birthday cake.
No, the Stephen King one. Yeah, because as bad as his acting is, and as dumb as that story is, it's still fun.
Well, his
Kinda
acting
like-
was kind of fun. In
Oh
it.
yeah, he's hamming it up, but I don't
Yeah.
think he knows how to not ham it up.
And he's
but
so young in that.
he's so
Yeah.
young.
He
But
really
the
is,
story I
right?
thought
Yeah.
was kind of dumb. Yeah.
But it was fun dumb. Like I thought
It was like eco horror.
the Bedelia, Where's My Cake one was kind of like
going green.
The cake one that was too simple. I
Yeah, it
thought
was
it was
too
too simple of a premise.
and
Yeah.
the final cockroach one was kind of just dumb. I was like,
Yeah.
Those were the 2 ones that if you were going to make them 3, cut out those 2.
cockroaches were what was one of the most expensive thing for this.
If you
this- it was
fill a room with
almost 50
cockroaches.
Yeah,
cents per
so there
cockroach.
was actually live death.
Damn.
There was like real death on screen there.
The stomping of the
Yeah, he really
cockroaches.
killed some cockroaches on that.
The PETA people didn't care about that. They
Oh,
didn't,
Leslie Nielsen kicked that crab.
Yeah,
For real.
he did kick that.
Oh yeah,
crap,
that
yes.
was
during Fan Expo
crab bullying.
during the Fan Expo Canada 2015, George Romero said that cockroaches were the most expensive part of the movie, stating that the cockroaches cost 50 cents a piece. And they
You
used
can
more
go to
than,
New York City anywhere and get them for free.
they used more than 250,000 of them, a grand total of
Oh my
100
God! What?
a grand total of $125,000 on roaches alone.
Damn.
I thought they
what,
used.
What they do with them afterwards?
I thought they used fake ones, like it was like corn chips and stuff like that. And part of it, I
I
read
guess
that a
if you
long
buy
time
all
ago.
those cockroaches, you could do whatever you want with them. If you want to kill them, you can kill them,
Their
right?
property.
Yeah, but I mean, like I'm sure, like they
But
buy
I'm
the
just saying,
horses
like,
that they kill.
obviously
in
the
movies
crab.
and-
I don't think they would have any.
They probably ate it afterwards.
Yeah, but like they're not going to harm any animal.
If you're
any
if you're a
animal.
mammal, they care about you a little bit
'cause
more. Like you're not gonna be
cockroach
able
is
to kill
considered a
horse.
bug, right? So you're killing
Yeah.
bugs. You're not killing an animal. So I don't think PETA's coming after you for that.
It's like this
Nowadays,
Day, it's
they
like
would,
in this
you
day
think
and
PETA
age.
will come after you now?
But it's so
Then they
funny
would.
how like
Yeah.
with like the lantern flies, the first thing they say is the first thing you should do is stomp on them. I'm like, wow.
But then they're like, they're
That
so
seems
pretty
aggressive.
though. Then they're like, they're so pretty, aren't they?
Now that they've like reached their biggest stage, they're like this big. I'm like, I don't want to step on that thing. It's gonna get all over my shoes.
And they're stupid. They
gonna
fly
bite
into
back.
you and shit. You know, they're just annoying.
Reminds me
They're
like
worse
the
than
bu- reminds me
Japanese
like the bugs
beetles.
in
They are.
Caveman.
Yeah.
Remember in Caveman, the bugs in that?
Caveman.
When did that come out?
That was
is
80. Yeah, we don't get that one unless we want to do it in our early 83.
Hot Shelley
season.
Long in that?
Yeah, I like that movie a lot.
I like how
So
you,
I would
Caveman's a
definitely.
great movie.
State the hot Shelley Long because there was, you know,
It was like
the ugly
Cheers came and
Shelley
then
Long,
We
yeah.
had, we had Hot Shelley Long in Night Shift.
That's
yeah.
true. She was pretty hot.
and she was hot in
Yeah. And Kirstie
Love Boat.
Alley.
Tom
there was
Hanks.
a hot Kirstie Alley,
Boat.
and then there's the fat
Money
Kirstie.
Pit. Money Pit. Money
Love
Pit.
Boat.
Love Boat, but Money Pit.
Yeah, she was hot in Money Pit. Yeah. I think that might have been the end right there, right? Before.
That's when she hit the wall.
Because that's like when Cheers came out.
That's
and
when she hit
it's
the
like,
pits.
Yeah.
The money pits.
And she was Mrs.
Ba-dum,
Brady.
bum, ba-dum, bum. Thank you.
Nice. You knew where that button was this time.
I said.
We're actually mocking you at lunch the other day. I'm like, Brian never knows where any of the right buttons are.
Christine told me.
Oh, that's awesome. She's like, everybody's making fun of you at lunch today.
That wasn't the only thing you guys made fun of me for.
Oh, no,
What else
we
do we
were
do?
ripping into you.
What else did we rip into you? Tell us.
We were talking about his inability to count
The
to
3,
3.
2, 1.
Oh,
we
yeah,
knew
she
that.
said
Yeah,
the
yeah,
counting
yeah.
ability.
Yeah, but now Andy's doing that, right? So
I've taken over. I can do it.
Yeah.
Look at that.
That
I
was
didn't
good.
even look at you this time, too. I think I had my head down the whole time. I was like,
I'll get a machine to do that.
I thought about getting like a counter or something. Just hanging up here. You know, you could have like a recording sign, something like that, and had to count.
It would be very
3, 2, 1
professional.
on that, yeah. Or something in the middle of the table.
Freaking NASA does
All right, I
it.
guess when we move into the studio,
Oh, yeah. I'm working on that.
moving into the studio,
As soon as it gets cold outside, I'm
right in the
building
in
a
that
studio
little,
next door.
little cubby next door.
Where?
Right there.
In the garage?
I have a little room off to the side here. It's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah. Oh, I thought.
the
Okay.
exciting new studios.
We're gonna be in there.
coming
I thought that was
soon.
supposed to be the bathroom, I guess.
It should
I
be.
think you turn this into the bathroom right here.
Oh.
This little,
The pipes lead over there, though.
it's all ball
So
bearings.
my kids are in college. I'm going to sell this house soon. I shouldn't be doing a lot of construction. I want to get out of here. I have a place in Nevada I want to move to.
Yeah, let's get that going. Elevators are included, right?
Yes, but we'll need an elevator.
There's got to be an elevator.
Chris has an elevator.
And a green room.
We want Brian Mack involved in this because this dude has an arsenal that could like
yeah, the
take
arsenal
down.
we were just talking about. We need him out there.
There are like
He's out.
4 countries that out arsenal him. In it's America, Russia, China, and North Korea, and then it's Brian Mack.
Yeah.
And then it's France, and then it's England.
And I own all of the third world type of guns
Oh,
because
yeah.
I have I was telling Brian I have like 16 AK-47s. So.
Well, when we have the compound, we're going to have a lot of land, and we'll just shoot all the time.
Oh shit, man! I'll
That'll be
up
fun.
there.
I think we should just send Mac to like Africa and just say, I'm taking over this whole entire section right here and mow it all down.
Well, I have all these,
like
so I can
Arnold
hand
in,
them out to my
Predator.
friends, so we can like clear out some area and
There you go. Clear it out.
and like declare our own autonomous zone.
I kind of don't
the
want to live in
podcast
Africa,
zone.
though.
Yeah, okay. I'm bad call.
too hot
You know what?
there.
Nevada's good. We'll do Nevada. It's all
Yeah,
rocks.
that's why I was
We
like,
can
why are we
shoot
leaving
rocks.
Nevada?
Yeah,
I
sorry.
thought, right there by the casino.
Cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut out Africa.
Let me see a couple of things here. I had we were just talking about Jordy Verrill. So King was told to play Jordy like Wile E. Coyote, the way he looks when he goes off a cliff. So that's what I think. That's why
He was a
acting.
good eye actor.
Oh, yeah.
He also, where was the other thing? He had an allergic reaction to the makeup that he had to wear. He was subjected to shots and medication to make it work bearable. Like it was,
Damn.
it was unbearable at times.
Which role did he have? Who was this?
Stephen King. He played
Oh,
Jordy
meteor
Verrill.
shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
You
wearing
knew
the
that was
green.
Stephen King, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't think you
No,
knew.
no. I was a little off track there.
That was Stephen King
Yeah.
doing all that acting, if that's what you could call that.
Oh, I knew it was him, but
That's
I
what I'm
just
asking. You didn't know you didn't know that was him in the movie?
no. Yes, I did,
Oh, okay,
but
that's
it
what I
was
was
the
getting at.
name that threw me
Okay,
off.
okay.
You know,
It's
his
like-
character. name.
Jody
Verrill.
Verrill.
Verrill. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong.
He looks so healthy. He doesn't look healthy anymore.
Yeah, and was that?
Well, he's like 70 years old.
I
now.
look at him now, and he's kind of cross-eyed, and he was cross-eyed there. So I'm guessing he's cross-eyed.
And I remember when I saw this movie, and I don't think, back then I really knew what Stephen King looked like. I thought that was all an act, like with
Yeah.
the eyes.
Yeah,
and then
so did I.
And I started buying his books, and I'm looking at him like, he's got those eyes. Like, what's going on?
That's what I was like.
I was like, I guess that's his eyes.
He is ugly as fuck.
He speaking of Steve King, he carried a toy figure of a Star Wars figure in his pocket during the filming of Creepshow for good luck. You want to guess
Which one? Boba
which
Fett?
Star Wars figure he
Hammerhead.
carried?
Hammerhead.
Everybody is wrong so far. Andy, your
Wait,
first guess?
Boba Fett?
Hammerhead.
Hammerhead.
He is a hammerhead. Fucking tool.
Okay, so he carried a figure around. Why would he carry a figure around?
Said for good luck.
I want to say like Darth Vader because he's evil, but how about like who's green? Yoda?
There's a lot of dead
1982,
air.
1982. Sorry.
Yoda is
Because
incorrect.
this is a question that I really want to get the answer right on.
Yoda's
Oh,
incorrect.
Greedo. Greedo's green.
Greedo is correct.
No shit, Greedo.
Why green?
Because he turned green in this. He was like all like with the.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea why that matters.
And this is Jedi Juice.
Wow.
Yeah, Jedi Juice.
Do you feel like you can lift rocks with your brain right now?
I think he does. Yeah.
My head feels like it's about to lift off my neck. I'm very scared. Stop.
For the listeners at home, I force choked Andy.
It worked.
Yeah, it looked like it worked.
Yeah, I was very scared there for a second.
Ladies and gentlemen, do not try that at home.
Oh my God.
What do you got for your mental notes there, Brian? This was your first time watching it, so
This was my first. So the Squeak by Ed Harris. That really.
that's really bothering you, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought. Well, it's just something that really stood out. I mean, that was the biggest thing.
One of my favorite
Did it
things.
make you laugh?
It did.
Yeah, good.
It made me
Okay.
laugh, and I thought that the Hal Holbrook, that was the best story. Like,
Yeah,
that was the most
the crate's by
engaging
far the
story.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Hal Holbrook in this. He's so good.
Oh yeah.
I think it's the most memorable story,
Yeah.
but I think my favorite one is the beach.
And that's
love the beach
that's the
one.
second best one.
It's probably a tie. I would say those two.
Yeah, those are the two
probably,
best.
Like, yeah.
And it makes sense now, the trailer that Logan made, because I had no idea what.
Oh, the
that's
I
right.
can only press
Yeah.
a long
I always
time.
thought he was being cutesy in that,
Yeah.
but now
Well,
Makes
that's
more
what,
sense.
yeah.
So that's why we should have that trailer out on TikTok before this episode drops.
Yeah.
I can hold my breath a long.
Yes.
But you gave the information to Logan, right?
Logan's got it. Yeah.
All right. So then when he puts that on TikTok,
The
send it
funny
to
thing
me.
is, Logan might not have the video. I might have it because I took it. But whatever, we'll work that out.
you can get it to Logan,
in the
though,
weeks-
can't you?
He lives here. I can.
That's what I'm
probably
saying. You can get it to him. Yeah.
One of my favorite things early on in this movie is when Tom Atkins slaps his son because he's reading the horrible
leaves that
comic
mark
book.
on him.
Dude, the
Right?
palm mark on his face lasted the whole scene. I was like,
My son reacted. He shuddered when he saw that.
because he's never been hit. He's
Right.
like, is that how kids were treated back in the 80s?
Yeah, I was like,
you were
that's
like,
how it went.
the fuck they were.
Yeah.
That's how they were treated,
I'm
man.
like, consider yourself lucky.
Especially with your forearms, man. You can fucking break your kid's head.
The boy's father is scolding him for reading the comic. The boy comes back saying it's no worse than what's in the porno magazines that you read.
That was great.
Yeah. That was.
Stephen King got his start writing horror stories for pornographic magazines.
Really?
Boom. There you go.
He did. I mean, if Playboy's considered pornographic.
It's
I don't think
extremely pornographic. You see nipple. God damn it. You see nipple. That's real, damn it.
I thought it was so
I
funny.
dropped a
in the,
lot of loads over Playboy, so yes, I would have.
You
Yes.
seem more like a wee.
How do I recover
wee
from
person.
wet gash?
We.
Remember that magazine, Wee? O-U-I?
I remember
Oh
French,
yes,
Francais.
Yeah, I was definitely a wee person.
Yes.
In
Or
the
even
in the
Penthouse or Hustler.
in the Bedelia episode,
Bedelia?
like no one got up and ran. Like she was like at the grave,
Right.
and that hand came out, and she just kind of like rolled.
Well, she was
over.
drunk.
She rolled over and allowed herself to be killed.
Well, she had like about a whole
Half
thing
a-
of Jack
Yeah.
Daniels.
Well, that
in
was
there.
my note that I was
Oh, Jim
keeping.
Beam.
My note that I was
Oh,
keeping during this
good
was
catch.
Jim
Right,
Beam,
yeah.
Jim Beam, and then in the second one, which was the Leslie Nielsen one. No, the second one was shit.
That
Help
was
me out.
the plant one, the
That was
meteorite.
Geordie.
Yes. He pours a big thing
Yeah,
of pop off
that's right.
vodka.
Yes,
I was like,
I picked up
I was
on
like,
that.
we got a theme going. I'm like, Jim Beam in the first one, pop off vodka. And then the third one, Leslie Nielsen pours himself a big drink of something and the bottle was blocked. I'm like, I need to know the name. I need to know the name. I'm like, I'll get it later. I'll
You know
get it
what I
later.
noticed about
and then
the
I watched
pop-off?
it and never went back. Again, that's the note that I had halfway through. I'm like, and then Adrian Barbeau had the big
and he
glass.
couldn't go back.
Adrian Barbeau had the big glass of milk that she drove to the college with.
Yeah,
she
why did
walked
you
out,
do that?
She got out of the car with a glass of milk still in her
Milk
hand.
and bourbon.
It was so
what are you
weird.
doing?
It's like that was like a Laverne and Shirley drink. What would you milk and Pepsi, right?
Milk and Pepsi.
Chocolate cow.
Oh, brown cow. Yeah, those are
Brown
good.
cow. Yeah, that's right.
You know that pop-off bottle? I noticed it was glass.
No, back then everything was glass
No,
back
it was
then.
plastic. My dad used to get
Even
pop
in the
off.
80s
That's why I was
like that,
laughing.
yeah. Okay.
When it hit the ground, it didn't make a clunk. It was like a boom, boom, like a
Like glass.
plastic-
And I noticed, I'm like, that's not the pop-off bottle. That must be like the other like upscale version. You know,
the upscale version. I'm just looking. In the Stephen King one where he made his pop off drink, that was the first thing I thought. Like he's turning green, everything is happening around him, and he pours that gigantic. I was like,
that was a strong drink.
when all else fails, start drinking, man. Make your fucking big. Like,
I was thinking,
it was
hey,
orange
maybe
juice
the
and-
plant wouldn't like that and would reject him, and he would be all right.
The problem
But
with
he wasn't.
the problem with these stories being like
He was all itchy though,
the
so he
fif-
had to jump in the water.
like
What made it worse. And I thought where we're going from there is like the segue into the swamp thing.
And the
He could have
strange,
been a superhero.
his father in the mirror, like that was
Yeah,
was
that was
bizarre.
Yeah.
the problem with all these stories is that like they're so short. There can't be a lot of development. It's like the problem happens, and that's just the problem. You can't fix it. You can't try to. It's just like you're fucked, dude. You're turning into a plant. Time to start drinking and shoot yourself in the head. That's it. You got a crate in the basement.
He didn't point the gun right enough to kill himself.
So he blew
though.
off like the very top portion
Yeah.
of his head, which is a bad thing
Plant
to do.
head.
Yeah, I figured that would just been his grass hair.
And why did he
Yeah.
want to die? He was still alive. He was just
Yeah.
a plant man. You can still watch TV, right?
He probably could have had a nice
Yeah.
life.
Yeah, join the circus.
I don't get why people have to die when there's still television available. Like I can still sit and watch TV.
Yeah.
I'm just a head. I'm just going to watch TV now. Thank you. That's all I want to do anyway. So
Roger Ebert gave this movie 3 stars and said the following.
good for him.
Romero
Good for
and
him.
King have approached the movie with humor and affection, as well as with an appreciation of the macabre.
I like that.
Macabre?
Macabre.
Right?
Macabre. Yeah. I'm glad that Roger Ebert liked this.
Well, what did Siskel say? He was
I'm
always a
not sure.
douche.
But Adrian Barbeau was still married to John Carpenter when this was released.
So Adrian Barbeau did. Well, this is not John Carpenter.
I got
was gonna say, like,
Carpenter made the film version of Stephen King's Christine.
which
King
he was not
wrote-
in.
Well, she was in Escape from New York. She was
King
hot.
with
wrote
him
and
and the-
make an appearance in this movie. Additionally, Hal Holbrook and Tom Atkins starred in this film, co-starred in The Fog with Adrian,
Oh, yeah.
which John Carpenter
That was
directed.
a great flick.
Can I ask you a personal question, Mac?
Of course.
How much can you bench press?
Well, nothing anymore these days because I use machines.
At
but
your
back
best.
in-
At your best.
385. I
Okay.
was doing.
Ted Danson tells Leslie Nielsen, I can bench press 300 pounds. Like when he first comes into his house, I'm like, Ted Danson's not
No.
bench pressing 100 pounds. that
chain on that door was not holding
It
Leslie
must have been
Nielsen
one of
down.
those Nautilus machines.
But the way
that,
he
like,
said that to me, he's like, back off, man. I can bench press 300 pounds. I was like, you can? I'm like, I don't think you can. And if he can't, or if you can't, well, you can, but
It was very
You're
quiet
built
there on
differently,
his
yeah.
beach, so you could scream all
Well,
you
he-
wanted
he-
on his beach.
he owned all the land.
Yep.
Yeah.
And at the end of Stephen King's segment, Jolie, what's his name? The Stephen
Geordie?
King Jordy. When you see the grass like going down the street and you know it's gonna like infect everywhere.
Like the whole world.
Big sign says Castle Rock 5 miles away. I was like, Castle
That
Rock
was
says
cool.
Stephen King. That's where all his shit takes place. So there was a little Castle Rock road sign there that said
Yes,
it was
I saw
5
that.
miles
Yep.
away.
Mhm.
I like that.
And it was about to rain.
Right.
And the
And you knew it was
news
gonna
guy was
spread
saying it was going to be rain.
Across the
yeah.
world. So it was like apocalyptic.
Adrian Barbeau's best line in her thing was like, "What's the matter with you two? Not drinking?" She was such a bitch, man. Oh my god!
stupid,
like-
Jordy. Because he put his fingers in his mouth. Remember?
Oh yeah.
did you guys know where the something that tied you over? That's a Leslie Nielsen, Ted Danson one. Something that tied you over. Do you know?
Something that tied you over?
Do you know
is the name of it.
where that was filmed?
Hamptons.
It was filmed on
Seaside Heights?
Island Beach State Park.
No shit. No
How
fucking
close
way,
was
really?
I?
You were very
Very
close.
close.
Yeah,
It was
very
just south of
good.
there, yeah.
So it's right there, but yeah,
Wow.
Island Beach State Park.
How about that?
How about that?
You could have been on the beach at that time. I was
12. I
of age.
probably wouldn't have been there then, but and
I
they were
could
probably-
have been there.
They're
That's
probably
all
filming
the
this
only
year
place
before.
we went to.
Yeah, we would go to
We used to go
Seaside
there because
Heights.
that's where you used to be able to drive the car onto the beach.
Exactly.
We were-
Get the fire on the beach. and
We were
everything.
Wildwood people
might
when
have
I was
been
young.
And Kathy's family used to go to Island Beach State Park
Okay.
all the time.
As a matter of fact, I think I'm in Creepshow. Now that I think about it, I was there.
There was
during
no
the
one else
filming.
on that beach. It's just Jason in the background. We're like, hey.
You could hear in the background. Hello.
Leslie Nielsen's like, you can scream all you want. No one can hear you. And Jason's like,
What?
Whoa.
You just hear me go back there. I was like,
We're all counting on you. Good luck.
I can hold my breath a long time.
I was quoting Airplane to him.
No, I got that.
Brian was looking at me weird.
I never look at you weird. Although I want to know the story behind that shirt.
The shirt is a band. Dead Guy. Check him out if you haven't heard of them.
Oh,
They look very satanic.
They are very
does.
cool, really
Good.
hardcore Jersey band.
We saw a great satanic band last night, Ghost. All their songs are satanic.
Satan.
Yeah, 7
Massive
inches
dog.
of satanic panic.
Yeah. I mean, they have a whole song where the whole chorus is Hail Satan.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
We have been talking about this earlier today about the fact that Creepshow kind of kicked off the anthology horror movie scene. So in IMDb, I saw this before. It says this is one of the only successful anthology movies. The success
Cat's
of this.
Eye?
The success of this started a mini cycle of anthology films in the early 80s. Cat's Eye, 1985. Twilight Zone, the movie, 1983.
Love that movie.
I don't know why they did it out of order. It should have
How
been
does
Twilight
that
Zone, the
kick
movie,
off?
1983.
You would think Twilight Zone
Yeah.
kicked off Twilight Zone, the movie, but that's just
they would have
me.
been filming
But I
Twilight
guess it was-
Zone right now. Though.
But this
Like, when
came out. This
movie
was an
coming out.
anthology movie.
Because there's
before
also death. The death of Vic Morrow happens around this time.
That's right.
New York Stories, 1989. I don't even know that one.
Never heard that.
Creepshow 2, 1987. I don't
Thanks
think
for the ride, lady.
Yeah, I don't think you can say
my
that
favorite.
Creepshow kicked off Creepshow 2.
Creepshow
yeah.
2 is actually fun, I think.
Yeah, it's
I
good.
love
Well, that's
that
the
one.
raft.
Yeah,
and,
I'm looking forward
it's a
to
good
when
one.
we get to do that one next year.
Oh,
good.
nice.
That says 1987.
I saw that tripping on LSD, man. That
87?
was a
Why am I
great
thinking
one.
83? What am I thinking of? I know it's 87. I apologize. For some
And
reason,
then-
I thought it was
Yeah,
83.
87. I remember.
The best thing about this stupid IMDb thing is there's also been a mini cycle of cartoon anthologies right before this, namely American Pop and Heavy Metal.
Heavy
both
Metal.
in 1981.
Yeah.
However, this was the only However, Creepshow was the only unqualified success of the bunch. So I guess they're saying that Creepshow was the only success.
Heavy
out of all
Metal
of them.
wasn't considered a success.
Oh, I'm sure no
That
one
was a
saw
great
that
flick.
movie.
I
mean,
think, I think
but
it had
no one saw
a
It was an
later in-
R-rated
later in
cartoon.
life. It was a later in life. It's like one of those
You
underground
can't take your
things.
kids to go see that.
And that was considered, that was anthology?
Yeah, there were 4 stories in that.
Oh, okay.
John Candy story.
John Candy was the best one. Yeah, with the guy with the taxi cab, with the when the girl
yeah.
gets in the back of his cab,
Yeah, and he ray guns her.
he hits
and
the
she-
button
yeah.
and she just melts, in the backseat of
Disintegrates.
her car.
Speaking of Creepshow
And Hanover
2,
Fist.
Hanover Fest.
Yeah.
With who's the voice in that? Harold Ramis, I think, or one of those guys. It was all like SCTV guys were like the voices.
And then Black
in that.
Sabbath. Well, there was a lot of hit
guys,
songs, yeah,
yeah.
Mob Rules, but okay.
Speaking
Back
of
to
Creepshow 2, Leslie Nielsen's future co-star, The Naked Gun, George Kennedy, would star in Creepshow 2.
Wow.
He's in the Cigar Store Indian episode. That's what
Ooh.
starts. That's
You
what
guys talk about
that kicks off
Cigar
Creepshow
Store
2.
Indian a lot.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Creepshow 2 is just
It's great.
Creepshow 2 is probably just as good as Creepshow
Yeah.
1.
Yeah,
really good.
Was there a
definitely-
Creepshow 3? Did this like lead
There's a
to
Creepshow 3 that came out like 2000 something.
that doesn't
forget
count.
that.
And I think it was
doesn't
like on
count.
Shudder. And I think there's a Creepshow
Straight to video.
a Creepshow series, and I think there's actually 2 seasons or something
like
of it out there.
that's recent. Like I feel we've
It's on
talked about
Shudder-
that in the last
Shudder,
like 5 years.
the
Yeah,
network Shudder.
yeah.
What's Shudder?
That's
It's a horror streaming
network,
service.
Yeah.
Oh.
that no one subscribes to, and
Oh, okay.
I'm
If
sure
it was
it's got
less,
commercials.
if it was like $2, I would get it, but I think it's like $6.
and it's with, I think it's got commercials too, because
If it's got commercials, that makes
$6
it
ain't
even
paying
worse,
for
yeah.
like any of the shit they want.
Damn.
And I doubt it's gonna have like new run horror.
No,
I think,
no,
you know
it's
what I mean?
all
You're gonna get
old
like
shit.
your old stuff mostly, but
But that's what they should do. They should just have a like it's
There's-
Halloween Day
it
and
should
just
be
run all the
something
Halloween
everywhere.
movies.
But
And,
you know what's messed up about like think about Halloween's coming up. If you look at Netflix, all that shit, Halloween won't be streaming anywhere. None of that shit will be streaming anywhere because they want you to fucking buy it, and that's what that pisses me off, man.
Me too.
there needs to be a horror movie streaming service where you can buy it all and it's all free and
Now I wonder,
or
you
not
know-
free, but
you
like
know how
you, know,
like
you pay $5 a month and you got every scary movie.
you know how you can download a show on Netflix on your phone or iPad
Yep.
so you can watch it when you're offline or whatever, you know? So now, like, what if that show gets taken off Netflix if you have it downloaded? Do you still have it? It's downloaded? Or is it gone because it's off of Netflix? I wonder.
Depends on if you can watch it
If it's like
offline or
if
not.
Netflix has dropped it from their service, then you don't have it
So
anymore.
it's gone. And
Yeah. Because that happened to me one time. I couldn't even tell you what it was, but I remember I downloaded it to save for later. And then when I went to watch it, it said this stream's no longer available or something like that. That's why Netflix sucks, because they don't own any of their content.
Well, it all kind of sucks, and that's why I don't like to subscribe to all these things,
Well-
because I wish I can go to one place. Like I used to go to Blockbuster Video.
What's that?
You know, and yeah,
What's that?
there's one left. It still exists, right?
That, like,
I
Oregon one or
want to
something?
rent the
Documentary.
movie. Yeah, I want to get a movie. I go and get the movie. I go to Redbox. I want a movie. I go get it. But then you have Netflix and all these other companies, Amazon Prime. Hey, we own this group, and then another group. We own this. Disney Plus. We own all this. I'm like, I'd like to have a one-shop stop, but okay, I'm
Just
bitching
wait
about
5 years.
Oh, you
man.
want cable?
Someone's gonna buy them all.
Is that what you want a thing called cable?
Oh,
No.
Do you want like 100 channels and pay $100 a month for that? Like, okay, great.
with commercials. Yeah, fuck that. Yes.
I don't know. I think we've reached the apex of the streaming wars, and now it's going to start
It's going to start
cascading
They're
down.
going to start getting bought by each other. There's going to, and then they're
Or
gonna
they'll
eat each
just
other- they're
fail.
gonna eat each
Like
other
someone
up.
will
Yeah.
fail and be like, it's not worth us to stream it. How about if you just rent our movies again?
Yeah.
Like you were doing before. Netflix, rent all our Sony movies.
HBO
or
Max is trying to fail.
Netflix. Oh, HBO
yeah.
Max is
Hardcore trying, yeah.
insane, man. They have so much content, and they're like, yeah, we'd rather just cancel everything.
Yeah, we just want to be a home and garden kind of show.
Wait, we're the best network? We don't want that.
Yeah. I can't believe what they've done.
Yeah. David Asshat. That's the.
Is that the Discovery Plus guy or
Yeah.
whatever?
Like, why can't the
Insane.
board of directors needs to get him out of there like now? Or
I
something.
can't believe they even elevated him to that position, and this is his take on it. It's just like, we'll cancel everything. They have so much good stuff there.
This is one of those circumstances where the Great Reset, supposedly they own everything. You hear that conspiracy theory. It would be nice if they all owned, all the movies.
Right. So you can say, like, just reset it all now, please. Can I? If you want to control me, the best way you can control me is to let me sit in my house, fat, drunk, and happy,
Watching whatever
my
I wanna
fucking
watch.
shows.
I'll eat the bugs.
I'll pay you $150 a fucking month to watch whatever I want to watch.
Let
There
me
it
have
is.
my stories.
I
Let me
want
have my
stories.
movies.
I won't bother you. I won't go outside and protest. I'll do nothing but watch
Exactly.
TV.
I'll have food delivered.
Yeah.
And all
I don't
this
need to go
sounds
anywhere.
this sounds great to me. I really want this.
You see,
Fahrenheit
that I would
451.
welcome the Great Reset for that, so I can
I'm
just
so-
sit at home and watch TV.
listen, I don't have any independent mind. I don't want to make my decisions. I want someone else to make. I got married for that reason. I haven't made a decision in this house in 25 years. Michelle tells me to do something. I'm like, all right, guess I'm doing that now.
I pretend like I'm in control.
Oh, I know. You are such a faker of that. Like, listen how cool I am.
Yeah, well, my wife makes me think that I am in control. She'll come to me and ask me, "What's your decision on this?" But if it's wrong, she'll be like, "Oh, you mean this, right?"
It
And
is
I'll be like, "Oh, yeah."
amazing. It is amazing how they do that,
Yep.
because there's so many times where I'm like, even like the stupidest things, like it's like, what are we doing for dinner tonight? I'm like, I don't know. And she's like, you like that Mexican place, right? I'm like, I do like that Mexican place. Like, now we're doing that. And I'm like, did I suggest that? No, I think I was just told to say
They are masters at psychological warfare. Yeah.
Like, wait, how did I say that?
Wait, did I want that? I don't think I wanted that, but we're having it now. I guess I made the call. Although I've never made the call.
It's like Jedi mind tricking.
I know. Listen, we're all stupid. We are so easy to control. Women have the best thing that
They
men
have the pussy.
The best thing that men have ever done in the history of the human race is to not let the women know how fucking much control they have.
Oh, they know.
Because if they all of a sudden just decided like it's all over now, we'd be like, what? What? The cave's outside, boy. Go
How
sit
do
out
you
there.
think the pyramids were built? It was offers
Egyptian
of blowjobs.
women just said no more
Yeah,
sex.
yeah.
I need a big fucking pyramid built out there. Well, let's get on that. Jason, what else you got, dude?
I'm running out of notes here. I'm still waiting on Brian's mental notes.
I thought
Has he made one fucking comment this whole
I
show?
did.
What'd you say?
The Ed Harris squeak and
the Ed
I
Harris-
know, but I'm
yeah,
saying he
that
has
whole thing.
more notes. You didn't talk about the other stories. Like
I did. I said I liked.
What's your favorite
the
story?
mon-
Your
the
least
mon-
favorite story?
I said my favorite story.
but you didn't tell us your least.
The crate.
The crate's your least favorite.
That monster I have seen before. I don't know in a meme or something else, but I did.
No, I'll
I
tell you
have
where you've
seen
seen it on a T-shirt because I've wearing a Creepshow T-shirt here, and Fluffy's been on my T-shirt.
That's right, yeah.
it.
So was that
That's its
supposed to
name?
be like an Arctic Tasmanian devil?
I think they even say Tasmanian
I think
Devil
they
at some
do.
time in there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
the one question
guy
I have
in
is
the
that
hallway says the guy in the hallway. Remember when he was
the guy
talking-
that gets like slashed across the face
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
is it Charlie? Is
And
that
then his
Charlie?
eye.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he's just sitting there with his face all ripped up. Is that in any way connected to the Thing? In any way? Because it just seems so weird that the Thing comes out in 1982, and Creepshow comes out
I
in
mean, I don't know
1982.
if
They
they're
both have Arctic
connected, but I mean,
expeditions
the
and
dates on there. That's like in the 1800s.
But I guess it lives underwater too because it broke out, remember? And I guess it could breathe on the water.
we are watching The Thing in a few weeks.
I mean, that
so-
thing lived in that crate for 150 years, not eating.
Yeah,
So
and then it
it's
wanted to
very
go back.
Very hungry.
It had a feast, and then it just wanted to.
The best thing
fucking
about
sleep.
that whole the crate one was when he was kind of like moving the crate underneath the steps again. And you just saw the crate moving in the shadow of the thing.
that was
the
cool.
monster.
I
was
like that. Yeah, that's fun though, man.
Oh, it was fun.
Yeah,
I'm not mocking it. It was just like,
Speaking
what's
of
he
a
doing?
jump scare, I forgot the whole scene when the young guy came in to go see what was there, and it wasn't in the crate; it was on the side.
It's on the side, yeah.
Yeah.
That caught me again.
But what's funny,
so I actually jumped a little bit.
I didn't jump at that point. I jumped when Hal Holbrook was going to look under, and he hit the mop, and the mop flew.
Yeah.
And he grabbed the mop. I jumped at the stupid mop. Oh man! And I think the only other time there was a jump scare was kind of like when Leslie Nielsen went into the bathroom and locked the door, and then turned around and
They had the
they
two-
were
they were there.
in the bathroom.
Oh
and-
yeah, when they turn around. When
and
he
it's
turns
funny
around,
because
yeah.
I called Logan down to watch that scene because I wanted him to actually see why I made him do that trailer when we were in Outer Banks with the I can hold him breath a long time. So I called him down to watch it. And so Michelle and I had been watching Creepshow. Logan comes down. I'm like, oh, come down. So he came down at that point with the bathroom scene, and his girlfriend jumped
Cool.
at that scene. I was like, oh, she jumped. I'm like, nice. That scared her.
That's so good.
Sorry, Frizz. I don't mean to call you out like that, but
Well,
she
Frizz,
jumped.
you gotta have her.
But that's great that she jumps because it was scary for her first time ever. I'm sure Brian probably pissed his pants.
That's what the directors and writers. That's what they intended, right? That's what they wanted to
I
have
don't
happen,
know.
right?
I don't know if this movie was intended to be scary in any way.
But I mean, they want to get you to jump. That's
Yeah,
like if
sure,
they
that's
if
fine.
it's not
Almost like a
necessarily-
fun jump.
And when
like,
you say scare,
yeah,
it doesn't
jump and
necessarily have
laugh.
to be like actually scare, like a fun scare.
The
Like,
question I had after watching this whole movie was, how did those monsters, whatever you want to call them, the water monsters, Ted Danson and the girl, actually get Leslie Nielsen?
Sigmund and the Sea Monsters.
Yes, there they were. How did he get?
Sid and
How
Marty
did
Krofft.
they get him into the hole in the beach? Because you just see him in the bathroom and they come at him. Did they pick him up? Did they walk him out there?
I bet you they must have dragged him out
Did they
there.
drag him out? Because that might have been a fun thing to see them dragging him out through the sand.
They wanted to
into the
leave
Yeah,
that
that
to your
would've been-
They just
imagination.
got like smash cut.
And
to
who
him
dug
in
the hole? Did they make him dig the hole, or did they dig the hole?
It was already dug when he got there.
Well, when
right.
Ted
So I
Danson
figured
got
that it
there,
would be
but
the same.
Yeah.
So I guess that the ghouls dug the hole for him.
it would have been really cool if Joe Pesci was there saying, like, I never dug a hole before. We'll get to Goodfellas eventually.
That's 89,
Yeah,
I think.
that's a
right?
while
Oh, we'll
So,
get to that in 2029.
Let's all make it there. Well, Brian's got a wedding to prepare for. My God, that'll kill you fast.
Yeah.
If you can't walk her down the aisle, man.
How soon do you think they'll get married?
I mean, it's got to be within a year and a half, right?
Yeah,
Is that-
it's got to
is that-
be.
is that what-
It's got to be in
usually supposed to be a
2023.
year.
You're gonna have a
By the
wedding
end
in
of 2023.
I got to
23,
cancel
yeah.
a couple cruises.
I was gonna say,
think.
man, that's gonna bankrupt your ass, man. You were gonna have fun next year, but
Why
not
don't we
so much
start?
now.
You want us to start getting in Connor's ear about like running away to Vegas or
Yes,
something like that?
Definitely.
Dude, you know what the best thing to do is? Elope, man. Eloping's the way to go.
I'll tell them to get some nice
Well,
cash in their
they've been
pocket that
talking
way. you know?
cruise ship wedding, and I'm just
Okay.
like, all right, well, I
That
like
sounds
cruise ship
really
wedding.
expensive.
Is it really? If you just pay for a cruise, really, that's all you're really
Yeah.
paying for. That's
I mean,
not-
I'm not going to pay for everybody to go
that's what
on
I'm
the
saying. You just
cruise.
pay for their cruise, right?
And that means that it's
like-
your family going and that's it.
Yeah.
Because no one's gonna be like, well, I didn't have a vacation.
yeah. I guess,
plan
and then
that
it's
week,
whoever
sorry.
wants to go can go. I mean, whoever, right? I mean,
That's a destination wedding.
and then you have like a backyard.
Yeah, that sounds expensive.
Backyard.
I'm sure we're going to have a
barbecue.
lot of discussions in the next month.
You're
And
gonna have-
I'll depend on
I
you
don't
two
envy you.
at lunch to put into Connor's
I'm so
ear.
glad I don't have a daughter.
We got to put that in the Connor's
All my
ear.
wedding plans are gonna be like, show me.
They're
tell me
just
what,
going to be making fun of you every lunch.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Like, oh, it sucks to be
You'll be
you.
like, oh, Brian's going to have to pay for it all.
I'm like, that guy can't even count to 3 on his fingers. Like, how's he gonna pay for a wedding? But like, I'm giving you this many seconds to like decide where we're gonna
Brian,
get married.
We tease because we care.
Oh, we tease
You know?
because it's fun and we
Yeah.
all love.
I
Listen,
just want you to know.
we got
Tease
Brian
because
at Mac and I
care.
got excellent parking last night at the concert because they exploited my fucking handicap. They said, this guy
Nice.
limps. We need to have good parking. I was trying to make you sound nice.
Yeah.
But we got excellent parking last night. And Anthony said, Anthony said, put on the limp, dude. I'm like, I don't have to put it on, man. It's all good. It'll be out there. But yeah, and then we were 3 seconds from the arena. It was awesome.
And then we saw the lady that let us in, and she got to see that you were, handicapped.
struggling.
Did we
right?
move
Yeah.
the cart at one time? We were at Montage Mountain.
Dan brought that up yesterday.
Yeah.
He's like, it was like when you couldn't make it back to the fucking car at the Slayer Anthrax
Yeah.
show. It was like, that was a big
That
hill
was
to climb, man. I couldn't
that
do
was
that.
hell leaving that show.
Dude, I was
wasn't it?
standing for like 4 hours during that show, and then I had to walk back to my
Oh,
car. I was like,
man.
I'd rather just die right here.
We were hurting. I was
When we
getting
had,
to the
had
car.
to get a cab in Key West.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah,
That was
I
awesome.
couldn't walk back from the fucking southernmost part of America. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's all Andy's fault.
Damn,
Thank
I forgot
God.
how fucking incapable I am. I make it hard on everybody. That sucks. I didn't realize.
Oh,
how-
I wasn't making it back.
But you were blaming it all on Andy.
I was happy they were blaming it on Andy.
I don't take any. I don't take any hurt in the blame. So blame it all on me. All right. So are we going to rate this thing? Do we have to rate this thing?
I think we might be ready to give some scores.
I know my number.
Do you want me to give Rotten Tomatoes first? this
I don't
time?
want. I want to go first because I don't want Rotten Tomatoes to affect me.
Influence.
Okay, then do you want to go before?
I will go
Brian?
before. I don't care if he bumps heads with me. I got my score. It's been locked in
All
since
right,
I
then
watched
why
it.
don't you,
Thing.
go ahead and shout out your score, and I'll write it in.
I
here.
give this movie an 85.
Oh.
I love this movie. I had so much fun watching it. I own it for the next 29 and a half days. I might watch it at least one more time. I'm going to watch it again.
I only
I'll
got
probably
it for
watch
48 hours. Fuck.
You had to watch it within 48 hours, but then you have it for you can't if you rent it, it says you must watch this in the next 48 hours, but you have it for the next 30 days.
Really? I don't
Yeah,
get that.
so you'll be
That's
you'll
a
be able-
weird thing.
Yeah, so I guess
That's a weird way to put
I
it.
think if you don't watch it within the first 48 hours, they just credit you back and you're like it's canceled kind of
Really?
thing.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I love this movie. I had a great time watching it. I laughed a lot. I jumped a couple times. It's a 1982 movie. The special effects are ridiculous. The cockroach is crawling
still
out.
hold up.
The cockroach is crawling out of an obvious dummy at the end.
Oh,
We're so
yeah, that was
silly.
bad.
I giggled. I was like, look at that. I'm like, okay, but I had fun. I love it. 85.
I'm gonna jump on top of your 85, and I'm gonna give this a 90. I
Holy
absolutely
shit.
love this movie.
Damn.
Wow.
Absolutely love this movie. Like you said, I didn't jump though, but there's so many times I'm sitting there,
I'm a
I
big
know
puss.
what's coming. I'm quoting the movie to myself out loud as it's happening. I love every one of the stories. All 5 stories are great. Some are better than others, but I loved it. Yeah, and I would watch this movie tomorrow if you want it.
Let's do it.
I absolutely love this movie. 90%.
Wow.
Brian Mac, other Brian Mac.
I'm going to have to skew it a little bit, bring it down to 80% for me.
That's fine.
So, but 80% is still a passing grade. It's a B average, so I still love the movie. But, there were some of the stories, like I think we all agree, some were better than others and stuff. I really didn't like the cockroach story
How
too much.
rude.
Yeah.
That cockroach
Well,
is a way weak one to end on. For
And when
sure.
I used
really
to
is. It
watch
should have been in the middle.
over and over again, I used to skip that story.
would turn it off. It'd be like,
Creepshow ended after what was it? The beach
crate.
one, I think it was, or was it? Oh yeah,
Ends at the crate
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and but I still love it, and all the stars in it, and it was great, nice and
80's
campy.
still a
and
good score.
stuff,
Did
so-
Riley like it? Did he enjoy it?
Yeah, he did, and I think he would rate it higher than I
Nice.
I would. Yeah.
Michelle liked it too. I mean, Michelle hates everything, but she was
watched
like,
it with you, the whole
yeah,
thing?
yeah, not all of it, but she watched the middle 3,
Yeah.
the best 3, I think, and she liked that part. Yeah,
Nice. Now our first time watcher of Creepshow.
first time.
Well, now it's
You watched
lower-
it alone?
It's lower than you guys, but it's
fine.
good for me. 66.
Okay,
Okay.
as a first time watcher, as an old man now, you probably would have enjoyed it if you had the.
I think he
Yeah, I think he would
Hindsight
give it a
of having
higher
been in-
rating if you saw it as a kid.
Yes, because that's what I did with Beastmaster.
Ah, yes.
So you're watching Beastmaster. I was watching Creepshow.
Exactly. Yep.
Here's the problem.
I don't remember what I was watching.
That's the
I was
problem.
watching Three's Company.
I was watching
Come and knock
Prism,
on our
some
door.
wavy lines.
Oh, yeah, like the Spice Channel.
So, but you enjoyed this? Did you have fun?
I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
66 is good for
No,
me.
but you.
You'd watch it again?
I
would
have
watch
it.
it
I have
again.
it for the next 28 days. Should we have an Alpin family viewing down here and
I bet Christine's
scare
never
your wife
seen
and
it.
your son?
Yeah.
All right, maybe we'll
fun.
do that. I have so
Good
much shit to
times.
watch. I don't know if I can fucking rewatch this movie again, but
That's another
I
movie.
want to. I want
28
to.
days later. That's 28,
28 days. It's creepy, not creepy. It's weird that we're only midway through September, and I'm already like in Halloween mode. And I was like, I wish I had this. Like, I want to watch this later in October.
I know what you mean.
I want to watch
Right
when
now-
the leaves are down and it's
We're
cold
watching
outside.
it right now.
and
It's only
it was
September.
90
beginning of
degrees when I
September,
walked
yeah.
I think this is a
outside
good
today.
time to do it because you want in October you want to be watching Halloween and Freddy Krueger
Yeah.
and those guys.
Real quick, the critics had it at 65 and the audience had it 68. So right,
Shit.
Wow,
right in
look at
there.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we're on
Brian
point,
had it
Brian.
in there.
Yeah.
We're cucks, I guess. We love the
Yes.
movie, so
as kids.
but it's one of those movies I watched so many times, and
Yep.
I could see myself still watching this movie
And I don't
so many more
judge you
times.
guys like you judged me for Beastmaster.
Your Beastmaster score was terrible.
Beastmaster's
too.
embarrassing.
I loved Beastmaster. It was
Watch
a
it
great
again
flick.
and tell us if it holds
But
up.
it was
Thank you.
it was a great terrible flick. You know,
Yes.
it's just,
It was
I
a
agree.
terrible,
Yeah.
terrible flick.
Yeah, I'm going to have to side with you on that one there, Andy. But,
I'm not. We've discussed how we don't like the Sword and Sandals movie. That does
Next
nothing
week-
But
for
it
us.
didn't. Wasn't it trying to like copy Conan?
It was
Yeah.
the exact same
100%.
plot.
And
of
that's what I
Conan,
remember.
yeah, yeah.
And there
What,
was another terrible one, The Sword and the Sorcerer.
Sword.
What do we have coming up next week, Andy?
Shit, man.
I thought he had it.
basket case.
Is it?
Oh,
Really?
dude? I love
That's
that
exciting.
movie.
I've not seen that.
It's exciting and new. Michelle,
But I
was
definitely
just talking
know
about that
about
one. I hope
it.
Michelle watches that one with you about to get her.
It's like
score.
a head or something.
We should call Brian the Nazi because he's not seeing a lot of it.
That's true.
That was good. I like that.
That was pretty good. Yeah,
But Basket Case, I love that movie.
Basket
That's a
Case is going to be
classic.
again. No spoilers.
You're gonna like that. It's a wacky movie.
When we brought it up the other day that it was on the list, Michelle was like, "Oh, I want
Right.
to watch that."
Yeah.
Just remember, it's like a B movie, but it's like the Swamp Thing, right?
Whenever I think it, I
terrific.
never saw it, but I
Yeah.
think of this head.
it's
Well,
it's-
the poster was
That's
like
the,
a
that's
basket with the
that's
head
movie.
and the
Yes.
creepy fingers poking out of
Yeah.
it.
Probably seen the movie Case because that was one of those movies. Every time I saw it at the video store, if there was nothing new, none of the new releases were there that I wanted. I ended up with Basket Case. Or
Oh,
something.
really?
It was one of those movies that you would always get.
Nice.
You know what I mean? It was. You couldn't help but pick it up. It's just
I would
and I
just
never
like
heard
that.
about it when it came out. It was at the Blockbuster video. I'm like,
I-
what the fuck am I going to watch? I'm bored. I see it. I'm like, I pull it off and I watch it. I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking.
I don't know if I
classic.
should save this for the actual Beastman or the
Basket
Basket Case
No,
podcast.
save it. No, do it now. And
Okay,
and
I will do
save
it then
there.
and then. So this is a teaser for later. The starring cast is 2, 4, 6, 8 people. I know none of them. I've never heard of any of their names.
That's great. So we don't have to do top four.
And when I looked them up on Wikipedia, not one of them has a little blue line under to click for more information on. So none of these people have ever done a goddamn thing that's worthy of having a fucking independent, anybody can add it Wikipedia page. So
Yeah, it's too bad. It's such a good
It's a
storyline.
bunch
but,
of fucking nobodies.
Is that really awesome? I think that's really awesome.
Yeah.
I've never
This
seen
is
that.
Basket
I was like,
Case?
I look at people. I'm like, who am I clicking on? I'm like, nobody. No one's clickable here. I've never seen that before.
All right.
Oh
I'm
my
exci-
god, I'm so excited to watch this movie. It's gonna
I'm
be
really
the fucking
excited.
worst thing ever.
You've seen it before.
Oh
haven't
yeah,
you?
yeah. I watched it
We're
back in the
excited.
day.
It's new for Brian. We're the
It's
exciting and
exciting
new
and new.
podcast. You can catch us everywhere. You get your podcast, Spotify, Apple, Google. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Spreaker, everywhere. The Jazoo on Instagram, Jazoo74 on Twitter. I'm Jason.
AE Gonzo 1970 on something.
Instagram.
AE Gonzo 1 on something
Twitter.
else. I'm Andy.
And I'm Brian, Papa Bad Kitty.
And I'm Mac. I'm nowhere. Don't contact me.
Don't contact him.